So let's get started with code commits. So we click on the bar right here and we just type code commit and we get the first link. So code commit, as we said, it's a secure repository, and so you can see that you can create one, connect one, and then share with other people. So you get the idea of what AWS is trying to convey here. So we'll just click on that big blue button called Get Started. So we create a repository, and this is basically, we need to confirm a setup. So we need to put a repository name and a description. And so the repository name, I'll call it my Node.js app, but you can name it whatever you want. And then I will not put a description. I'll click on create repository and it's done. It's been created. And then the first thing we get is, would you like to configure email notifications? So remember, notifications are very important in code commit, at least at the exam. And so here we are offered with the idea of creating an Amazon CloudWatch event role. Okay. And so this Amazon CloudWatch event role basically will be triggered based on these event types. And at the very end, it will trigger an SNS notification in a topic. So to add on to the confusion, let's look at it. So event types is basically anytime there's a pull request update event, maybe when there's a pull request comment event, or when there's a commit comment event. So as you can see, this is around comments and pull requests. Then we can trigger, based on these events, a notification into an SNS topic. Because we haven't been started with SNS yet, and not even CloudWatch event rules, we still have nothing, but I'll just do a quick starter on it. We can just click on create SNS topic. I'll call it code commit Node.js app and click on create. And so this basically created an SNS topic for us. And on this SNS topic, you can manage the subscriptions and start adding email subscribers to it. So you can type your email address, and then when you're done, it will send you a confirmation email just to make sure that you've been subscribing. So fairly easy. So I invite you to put your email address. For me, I will not do this right now, so I'll just close it. So we're good. We have basically created email notifications, and we'll click on save. And now we get a little panel on the right hand side saying, let's connect your repository. So I told you connection to your repository is, I think, the most challenging thing in code commit. And we'll see this in the next lecture to do it properly. So for now, what we can see from this panel though is that we can choose HTTPS or SSH to connect to your Git. And then if you choose SSH, it tells you, okay, are you using Linux, Mac, or Unix, or are you using Windows? So there's a lot of different ways of doing things. But overall, you can get detailed instructions at the bottom if you need help. We will do this all along together, step by step. So I'll just close this for now. And so we are in the code commit UI. If we go just one level up, we can see that we have all the repositories that we've created over time. So right now, just one repository. And if I re-click on it, I'll get prompted to connect to my repository. Okay. So this is our code. And right now it's an empty repository because we haven't been putting any file in it. So we'll definitely need to add some files. So let's go ahead and add a file. We'll click on add file and let's just create, upload a file maybe. And then we can choose a file to upload to the repository. So for this, I will basically upload the Node.js sample app. So remember the app we downloaded, the Node.js sample app from Elastic Beanstalk. You can just download it and we'll just upload a file from it. So I'll click on upload a file, and then I will expand my Node.js v2 Blue, and I will go ahead and just upload an index.html file just to get started. So as you can see, the UI is a bit shaky, and so we cannot upload many files. We can only upload one file at a time, which I think is very annoying, but whatever, we'll just go with it. So my author name is Stefan, and my email address is stefan@example.com. And you can say a commit message saying uploaded first version of index.html, something quite simple. Click on commit file, and congratulations, you've just added your first file to your code repository. As you can see, you're in the master branch, and so this is more like Git specific knowledge, but you can have multiple branches of code and think of a tree where you basically push your code into different branches. But for now and for this whole course, we're just going to work in one branch, and that one branch is usually called the master branch. So we're good. We have, created something. Now we can go to the pull request, and we can create a pull request. Let's say if we want to trigger a code review. This is advanced, but just know that pull requests are code review. And then we can view the commits. So we can view the commit history here. As we can see on my branch master, I just uploaded something. And so we get the commit ID. We can even browse the repository at this point. So you can get a visualizer, a compare. So this is like going to be a visual aid to see all the commit history. We can look at branches. So right now there's a master branch, but we could create additional branches if we wanted to. We can look at tags, and so basically tag repository, but this is not done through the UI. And then finally settings, and this is the more important thing. So here we can edit the repository name, but as you can see, the repository gets an ID and an ARN, so Amazon resource name. And so what we can do here is look at these most two important tabs. So notification tab is going to be the CloudWatch rule we just set up in the beginning in the first prompt. And so we can see that there's a rule right here for the CloudWatch, and it reacts to all these event types. It's enabled, and it will push these events into an SNS topic on which we can manage the subscriptions and add email address if we wanted to. But more importantly, what we can do is click on triggers, and here we get triggers, and you can see here, basically we can trigger actions straight into Amazon SNS or AWS Lambda. And so if you remember, that's the other integration I told you about, in which you can integrate code commit with SNS or Lambda. And so let's look at what the options are given. If we click on create trigger, we are taken to this page, and so we can set up a trigger name. So trigger to SNS, just to do anything. The events is all the events you can get. So either push to existing branch or create a branch or tag or delete a branch or tag. So I'll just say, for example, subscribe to push to existing branch. Here I say all branches, so this is fine. And then what do I want to do? You have to choose either Amazon SNS or AWS Lambda. And for this, I'll just choose Amazon SNS. And here we can select an SNS topic. So we can have the same topic, but it's not recommended. The best way would be to basically create an SNS topic out of it. So just to show you, I will not create it right now, but just to show you what happens. And then basically when you're done, you can test the trigger. Finally, if you wanted to integrate with AWS Lambda, you would need to type the Lambda function ARN. So we haven't been into Lambda yet, so we don't have any Lambda function. But you get the idea, right? What I wanted to show you is what type of events you can integrate, where you can send your data to, so Amazon SNS or Amazon Lambda or AWS Lambda, and the use cases you remember from before. But all these triggers are more related around code and branches, whereas the Amazon CloudWatch event rules were more around pull requests and to send email notifications and comments in these cases. So I'll just cancel it. And so you can have up to 10 triggers for a repository, so don't create too many triggers. But that makes sense. Here is basically all the stuff you can do with code commits. In the next lecture, I'll just show you the security side of it, just so we can know how to push data properly, not just from the UI. But in terms of the settings of code commit, we've visited everything. And remember, the very important things to understand is the notifications and the triggers, and in which case you use which. So I hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next lecture.